Welcome back. Burnout is a depletion or exhaustion of a person's mental and physical resources attributed to his or her prolonged yet unsuccessful striving towards unrealistic expectations, internally or externally derived. So, why do teachers burn out? Well, teaching is harder than it looks. The schedule is more demanding than it sounds. The number of demands that must be met simultaneously is crushing, and the stakes of having a major impact on so many young lives are sky high. Often, when you're teaching, you feel like you have too much to do and there's not enough time. We often have inadequate resources and stressful classroom dynamics. It's also estimated that a teacher needs to master about 100 aspects of teaching to execute teaching well. So, and one of those, of course, is differentiating to every student's needs. And that's not even to talk about the grading, feedback, professional development, and the parents. And top that off right now during this time of COVID, where everyone is having to adjust how they teach, where they teach, what they teach, and that format that many of us are struggling to learn quickly so that we can meet our students' needs. It's estimated that a third of teachers suffer from some sort of burnout during their careers, and about half a million U.S. teachers leave the profession every year, and 41% of teachers leave the profession within 5 years of starting. Unfortunately, burned out teachers are less likely to deliver high quality instruction. And when many of them leave, there's a lot of negative effects that happened because of that. It'll hurt student achievement, it disrupts school culture, and schools have to prepare and replace that individual. And in our high poverty schools, that's where it's being affected the most. 20% of the teachers are leaving, and that, of course, is hurting our low socioeconomic populations even more. And they are left with teachers that don't have as much experience, where they really need teachers that have a lot of experience. There are 4 stages of burnout. The first stage is when you're closed off. You stop socializing, you don't want any type of feedback, and you stop taking care of yourself. You become irritable, your temper shortens, you start to complain about everything, and problems are observed everywhere. Even if they're not legitimate, you see it as a problem. You start to have paranoia, where you start to worry about everything, and depression is common, and motivation is decreased. You're also exhausted and feel emotionally drained. Get to a place where you no longer care, and you don't see a way to improve the situation. And unfortunately, once this sets on, there's not emotional support that can be given to the students from a burnout educator. Burnout is a problem, but it is not unique to education. What really matters is that people take control and responsibility of their time and not chase every problem that comes into their life. Doing so will help cope with the rigors of the teaching profession. So how is compassion fatigue and burnout different? Well, the biggest difference is the exposure to trauma. So those experiencing compassion fatigue have either experienced secondary trauma through someone else's trauma or being told about the trauma, and burnout is simply all the other things. Now, you can be experiencing both of those at the same time. But the good news is the tools for thwarting the effects of both of these are relatively the same. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about some of those ways to start helping us.